All right, welcome back to the channel, everyone. It is cold today. It's like 30 degrees or something like that. Let's get a cold start. Yo, welcome back to the channel, everyone. Hope you guys are having a great rest of your day, start to your day, whatever time it may be. And in this video, we are going to be discussing whether or not it's worth it to buy and build a 1999 to 2004 Mustang GT, or should you save up and pick up a Terminator Cobra or another newer model Mustang. Now, considering the fact that I've had multiple new edge Mustangs, I also have a 2016 Shelby GT350. I think I'm a good person to weigh my opinions on this topic because I've experienced it all. New, old, NA, stock bottom end NA, and the car behind me, built, motor, and boosted. Now what you guys see in front of me is gonna be my built 5.4 liter 2-valve Mustang GT. It has a Procharger P1SC head unit on here, Vic Jr Intake manifold with the 6061 throttle body adapter. We do have a return style fuel system, aeromotive. The car is on E85 and it makes right around 600 horsepower. And it moves out pretty good for the power to weight ratio. This car weighs 3,100 pounds the way it is right now. And I am beyond, and when I tell you this, I really do mean it, beyond satisfied with the performance. This car is faster than a stock 2020 GT500, actually pretty significantly quicker, and it's a 2-valve. Now, I can guarantee you, if anybody told you that, you know, a 2-valve at 600 horsepower could beat a GT500, a new one, not the S197s, they'd say it was complete BS. But I'm gonna go ahead and explain why these cars are actually still worth building in 2024. And if you are considering going ahead and building one of these, this might be the year to do it, because the prices on all trims, GTs, Bullets, Mach 1s, the Cobras are kind of staying where they are, but some people are still smoking the crack pipe. They are going up, and these are something that, you know, can put up a fight if you have a halfway decent setup. Now, the nice thing about these new edge Mustangs, and honestly the SN95s, is they are lightweight, very lightweight, with minimal weight reduction mods. Like I said previously, this car weighs 3,100 pounds. It does have the heavier 5.4 2-valve in it. It does have a tubular K member to go ahead and offset the weight. But if this was a 4.6 2-valve, it would be in the 3,000 pound range flat, which is actually pretty insane. A lot of people have the misconception that the S197 5.0s are lighter than these. That's not the case. They can be lighter if you tin can them, but if you were to tin can a new edge, they'd be in the 2,000 pound range. That's going to be huge when going ahead and running it up against other newer cars that make more horsepower. I'm gonna go ahead and put this analogy for you guys right now. A 600 horsepower new edge is just as fast, if not faster, if geared properly, than a 700 horsepower S550 Mustang. And that is pretty substantial when you think about the setup and what you have to do to these cars. And when you actually sit down and price everything out, it really is not that expensive, especially if you are starting with the 2-valve platform, which I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are. Now, what I'm about to share with you guys might upset some folks, but considering the fact that I've had a stock bottom end boosted 2-valve. And now a built motor boosted 2-valve. You guys have seen the performance of this car on the channel. If you have not, check out the videos. This thing is no slouch. It puts in work. I feel like what I'm about to say has some weight. If your primary goal in a new edge Mustang is to have a 600 to 700 horsepower street car, something you could take out and hang with the big boys and also outrun a lot of cars that make 700 horsepower, I'm a firm believer that building a 2-valve is going to be a better option than spending 30, 35, 40K on a Terminator Cobra. Let me go ahead and explain what you can do with a 2-valve Mustang with a 20K budget, honestly less than that, and that's if you buy everything new and you don't wrench on it yourself. Now, first of all, we have to go ahead and buy the car. If you're looking for a new edge Mustang, a clean example new edge that has straight body, good paint, you know, no dings, not this car, because this thing got some dings and scrapes to it, but you guys know what I'm talking about. A clean new edge Mustang, a respectable one, you're gonna be looking at spending around $6,000 here in 2024. Now, I know the prices of these have gone up significantly. If you see one on Marketplace in your area for 7,500 bucks, 8K, offer the guy 6K, $5,500. I can guarantee you, you'll be driving off with the car that night. Now, what you also want to do here is address the 4.6 liter 2-valve or your 5.4 2-valve if you've already went ahead and swapped it. If you don't know how to do any type of machine work, or there is no machine shop in your area, which I do know sometimes that is the case, you can go on ModMax and get yourself an 1,000 horsepower rated 2-valve short block 5.4 4.6 for 4,500 bucks, and that's literally already ready to go, just to be dropped in your car. You just have to put on your stock heads and cams, which you can make 600-700 horsepower with stock heads and cams. It's been done multiple times. You can get that done for 4,500 bucks. That's going to be, you know, 10,500 on the high end with the car, and you already have the motor now. You can also go on Facebook Marketplace and get yourself a used centrifugal supercharger or turbo setup for $3,000, $3,500 on the high end. Now, on my old car, I bought my blower for 2,800 bucks. Came with everything, intercooler and all. So it can be done. I know a lot of fellas have went ahead and got their 2 valves boosted going that route. I don't believe spending $6,000-7,000 on a brand new kit is going to be worth it here in 2024. I mean, you can literally get the motor and the supercharger kit for the same price of a brand new, you know, Procharger or Vortex supercharger kit for these cars. So definitely go on Facebook Marketplace and get yourself a used kit. You're going to be able to get that done, and you're going to be at, you know, arguably what, 13 grand with the car, the motor, and the supercharger kit. That's a pretty damn good, you know, combo for the money. Now, if you do want to run the car, you know, on E85, or you just want to go ahead and future-proof your setup, you can get a return style fuel system. Mine's an Aeromotive fuel system, so it is going to be a little bit more expensive because I have a sump tank in the back of the car. You are going to be able to get everything done for around $2,000 to $3,000 depending on your route. Now, if you go with a lethal budget return style fuel system, it's going to be around $2,000. Go ahead and add another, you know, $500 to $600 for injectors. So go ahead and run E85 and make 600-700 horsepower. You know, you're looking at $2,500 to $3,000. That's going to be 16K, and then you're going to need a clutch, which is going to be around $500-600 bucks for a clutch. If you want to go with the McLeod RXT, that's going to be $1,000. You're looking at about 17K, and that's going to be without actually going ahead and doing the motor work yourself. You can go ahead and shave $2,000 off that if you just take your engine to a machine shop and had them install Gen 2 Coyote rods or Boss 302 rods, which are the same thing, as well as some DSS pistons, 10-5 or 11-to-1 compression to go ahead and bump up the power. You're going to be chilling in a 600 to 700 horsepower 2-valve Mustang with under $20,000 spent. The stock 3650 will hold 600 to 700 horsepower. This car is making 600 horsepower on the stock transmission. So, whew, and it's been doing that for a while. So there you go, folks. you just built a Cobra killer, a GT500 killer for under $25,000. $20,000 realistically. So definitely go ahead and pick up that new age Mustang if you've been thinking about it. They are 100% worth it. Now obviously there are exceptions to this. Some people have built their 600-700 horsepower 2 valves for less. Some people have built it for more. It's gonna be dependent on if you're buying everything new, which is 100% okay. I did not include wheels and tires because that price range can literally vary from $1,000 to like $5,000, and obviously that's not really gonna be able to be factored in. Now I spent $1,000 on wheels, $850 on tires, but you obviously can spend $5,000 on wheels and $1,000 on tires. It can get kind of crazy. Is that necessary for a new edge? No. Would it be dope? Absolutely. But it was something that I wasn't gonna do. So, you know, you can use my example, $1,800 on wheels and tires. You're still under that $20,000 price point. You're still definitely under that $25,000 price point, even with the crazy expensive wheels, and you're still cheaper than a Terminator Cobra and also a Gen 2 Mustang. So building 2 valves looking pretty good here in 2024, I ain't gonna lie. Now obviously the interiors in these cars are gonna be dated, but again, it's a car from the early 2000s. You really can't expect much, man. These things are gonna be raw. You're gonna feel everything on the road, and I absolutely love that, man. I do love that about these new edges. They're just a raw, nice feel. It's nice being in the newer cars, but it's just something about, you know, having a somewhat quick car from like the early 2000s that really is enjoyable to drive. And that's why I love these new edge Mustangs, man. You could do a lot with them. You can build the 2 valve, Coyote swap them, 4 valve swap them, LS swap them. You could do a lot to these and have a kick-ass setup that really isn't seen too much anymore. And I know a lot of people like to have unique builds. This is something that, you know, if you were to pull up to the track or like a roll night or something like that, people would second guess it. They'd be like, oh shit, does it make 400 horsepower? Does it make 600 horsepower? Does it make 200 horsepower? I mean, they wouldn't really know what was going on with the car. I'll tell you this right now, a lot of people, you know, that see this car, you know, pulling up to like, you know, a roll night or to a meet, you know, they're like, oh man, you know, does it make 200 horsepower, 3, 4? And when I say, oh no, it makes about 6, they're like, what? Because, you know, the 2 valves, they're underrated, and because they're underrated, you know, you can build them for an affordable price. So let's go ahead and keep this on the DL, folks. Oh man, let's go ahead and keep this on the DL so we can go ahead, you know, and have our little, you know, under 20K spent street cars that make 600-700 horsepower that can go ahead and bully 700 horsepower setups. Whew, man. And these cars look good too, can't lie. These are one of the best looking Mustangs, even if they're not in, you know, tip-top condition. My car's not in tip-top condition. They still look good, in my personal opinion. But obviously, if you're looking for, you know, 990 for a Mustang, you probably do think that they look pretty damn good. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If I inspired you to pick up a new edge Mustang, let me know down in the comment section. And as always, if you guys enjoy, feel free, drop a like on the vid, subscribe to the channel, turn on those post notifications, stay up to date with all the content on the channel. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.